I used to think the silence of the morning was peaceful, but looking back, it wasn't peace. It was the sound of my own body slowly shutting down. It's 5 a.m. The house is dead quiet. My feet hit the cold bathroom tiles and a shiver shoots up my spine. Not because it's cold outside, but because I can't remember the last time my hands or feet actually felt warm. I stand there, staring at the bathroom counter. It looks like a miniature pharmacy. Bright orange bottles, green caps, generic white tubs, multivitamins, fish oil, CoQ10, magnesium, a dozen different labels promising energy, vitality, heart health, youth. I open the cabinet, and the sound is deafening in the quiet house, the plastic rattle of pills. I shake them into my hand, a handful of chalky, oversized tablets. I swallow them down with tap water, feeling them slide heavily into my stomach. And then, I wait. I look in the mirror, searching for a spark in my eyes, waiting for that surge of energy the commercials promised. I wait for the fog in my brain to lift. I wait to feel like a man again, but the reflection just stares back, gray and exhausted. Nothing happens, absolutely nothing. It is a specific kind of torture, doing the exact same thing every single morning for 5 years and expecting a different result. You spend hundreds of dollars a month. You tell yourself you're being responsible. You're taking care of your health. But deep down in the pit of your stomach, you know it's a lie. You can feel the truth in your joints. You can feel it in the way you get winded walking up a single flight of stairs. And God help us, you can feel it in the bedroom, or rather, you can't feel it. That's the humiliation that no man wants to talk about aloud. The death of the morning salute, waking up soft, waking up feeling like your plumbing has been turned off at the main valve. It destroys you psychologically. You feel like an old house with the electricity cut, just waiting for the demolition crew. I was drowning in this despair, convinced that this was just aging, that nature was simply done with me. I felt heavy. My internal engine wasn't just stalling, it felt like it had rusted shut completely. I was taking all these vitamins, swallowing all this health, but I was still dying from the inside out. It wasn't until I collapsed, not fully, just a stumble, a dizzy spell while gardening, that the fear truly set in. I realized that my arteries were likely choked with calcified plaque. Think about it. If your pipes are clogged with concrete, it doesn't matter how pure the water is that you try to push through them. Nothing is getting to the other side. Those generic drugstore vitamins were just sitting in my stomach, turning into expensive urine, while my cardiovascular system was starving for oxygen. I was a walking heart attack waiting to happen, and my manhood was the first casualty of that war. I was terrified. I sat on the edge of my bed one night, my chest feeling tight, tears actually stinging my eyes from the sheer frustration of helplessness. I knew I needed a mechanical flush. I didn't need a supplement, I needed a pipe cleaner. If you are sitting there right now, nodding your head because you know exactly what that cold, hollow fear feels like, if you're tired of wasting your pension on useless pills and want to understand the real mechanics of saving your own body, I highly recommend looking at the Vascular Pressure Blueprint. How mature men are flushing out arterial plaque to restore full, rigid blood flow naturally, which I've linked first in the description below. It was the lifeline I grabbed when I was drowning, and it pulled me out of the dark. But let me tell you how I got there. My desperation led me to a man named Dr. Richard Coleman. He wasn't your typical cardiologist in a pristine suit. He was an unconventional vascular expert, a man who looked like he understood the grit of biology, not just the theory. I brought my bag of vitamins to his office, dumped them on his desk and asked, "Why isn't this working?" He looked at the pile, then at me, and said something that changed my life. "You're trying to paint a house that's burning down," he said. He explained that the supplement industry is built on a massive lie. Most of those generic multivitamins are compressed with binders and fillers that your stomach acid destroys before they ever reach your bloodstream. But even if they did get absorbed, they are useless if the roads are blocked. He drew a diagram on a piece of paper. He drew a blood vessel. It looked like a hose. Then he drew thick, jagged lines inside it. "This is plaque," he said. "Calcified, hardened cholesterol and calcium. It's like biological concrete. Your blood flows a trickle. You can't get an erection. Your hands are cold, and your brain is foggy because you are literally starved of blood." He leaned in. "To heal the endothelium, the lining of your blood vessels, and to force those pipes open, you do not need a multivitamin. You need a precise biological vasodilator stack." This was the moment everything shifted. He wasn't talking about medication. He was talking about chemistry. He explained that the body has a molecule called nitric oxide. When you were 20, your body produced it in massive quantities. It's a signaling molecule that tells your arteries to relax, widen, and allow blood to flood in like a dam breaking. As we age, that production stops. The pipes stiffen. The rust sets in. Dr. Coleman introduced me to the concept of the Vasodilator stack. It wasn't one magic pill, but a specific synergy of nutrients designed to bypass the liver and flood the bloodstream. He talked about high-absorption l-citrulline, not the cheap stuff, but the kind extracted to survive digestion. He explained how, when combined with specific antioxidants like grapeseed extract and vitamin C in the right ratios, it acts as a catalyst. It doesn't just ask the arteries to open, it forces them. It scrubs the endothelial lining. It dissolves the microscopic inflammation that allows plaque to stick in the first place. He told me, "We need to pressurize your system. We need to turn the fire hose back on." I was skeptical. I had been burned so many times before, but the science made sense. It wasn't about adding more nutrients. It was about clearing the delivery system. It was about flow. So I threw away the generic bottles. I stopped the fish oil that was just making me burp and started this specific protocol, this stack focused entirely on nitric oxide production and arterial cleansing. The first week I felt weird, not bad, just different. A tingling sensation in my fingertips. My ears felt like they popped, similar to when you drive down a mountain. Dr. Coleman had warned me about this. "That's the microcapillaries opening up," he had said. "Places in your body that haven't seen fresh blood in a decade are finally getting fed." By day 14, the brain fog didn't just lift, it evaporated. I remember sitting at breakfast, reading the paper, and realizing I had read 3 articles without my mind wandering. I looked down at my hands. They were pink, not gray, not pale. Pink, and they were warm. I put my hand on my wife's shoulder, and she didn't flinch from the cold. She actually leaned into it, that warmth. It's hard to describe the emotional weight of just feeling warm again. It felt like life returning to a corpse. But the real victory, the moment I knew I had cheated the Reaper, came on the morning of day 21. I woke up before my alarm. The room was still dark. I rolled over to check the time, and I felt it. A pressure, a distinct, heavy, undeniable pressure in my groin. I froze. I didn't want to move, scared it was a dream. But it wasn't. It was the morning salute, and not a weak, half-hearted attempt. This was the violent, high-pressurized force I hadn't felt since I was in my 30s. It was stiff, it was demanding, and it was real. I lay there in the dark, staring at the ceiling, and tears ran down my face again. But this time, they were tears of absolute triumph. It wasn't just about the sex, though let me tell you, that part of my marriage coming back from the dead has been a miracle in itself. It was about the dignity. It was the realization that the machinery still worked. The rust was gone. The concrete had been scrubbed away. The vasodilator stack had worked. It had forced the vessels to relax, and my heart was finally able to pump oxygen-rich blood to every corner of my body without fighting against resistance. I felt powerful. I felt like I had taken a wrench to my own biology and fixed the leak. I stopped being a victim of the aging process and became the mechanic of my own vitality. I'm telling you this story, stripping away my pride and admitting my darkest fears, because I know you are out there. I know you are staring at that bathroom counter full of useless pills, wondering why you feel so old. You are being lied to by an industry that wants to sell you maintenance, not a cure. They want you on the hook for life, but you have the right to fix the root cause. You have the right to demand the vitality you deserve. You do not have to accept the cold hands, the brain fog, or the dead bedroom. If you are ready to stop guessing, if you are ready to skip the years of trial and error that almost cost me my marriage and my life, then you need the blueprint. You need to understand the exact ratios and the specific stack that clears the pipes. Grab the Vascular Pressure Blueprint, how mature men are flushing out arterial plaque to restore full, rigid blood flow naturally, which is available in the first link of the description below. It contains the science, the method, and the protocol that Dr. Coleman used to save me. Do not let yourself fade away. Do not let the rust win. You have a choice today. You can keep swallowing the chalky lies from the drugstore, or you can scrub the engine, pressurize the system, and take back ultimate vascular control. The morning salute is waiting for you, gentlemen. It's time to wake up. I'm going to keep documenting this journey, sharing every truth I find about reclaiming our manhood and our health. If you found value in this, if you felt a spark of hope, hit that subscribe button. Join us. We are building a brotherhood of men who refuse to go quietly into the night. I'll see you in the next video, stronger than before.